Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!
American night. Shake your body dry on the coastline. We're hot American night. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone dry. We snuck our forks to the shore and drank a bottom bone.
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!
We're hot American night. Shake your body dry on the coastline.
Happening. What is happening, everyone? Hold on one second. Trying to figure this out.
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's.
There we go. We are ready to rock and roll, guys. How's it going? I'm James Lynch. So happy to be here for the Cage Titan 68 Fighter Q&A. My name is James Lynch. We're going to get to our first fighter here in a second, but I just want to set this up. Big card tomorrow night, Plymouth Memorial Hall. If you can't make it, make sure you're checking out this event on Spectation Sports. A lot of UFC veterans on this card. Yorgan De Castro, Chris Montino, Luis Pena. It's going to be a star-studded event. And also on this card, my next guest, very excited to talk to her, Christina. Christina, how are you? And thanks so much for doing this.
Thanks. Not too bad. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I love doing this. I get to talk to you guys after the weigh-ins. Look like everything went well for you. Just tell me about coming back to MMA. I know it's been a while for you. You've done some grappling, but to be back with Cage Titans, how excited are you to be a part of this really monumental card?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I've had like literally 4 fights that I've been training for that fell through due to like injuries and people pulling out. So I feel like I've been training for this for 4 years now. But I'm pleased to be finally back in there. The weight cut was kind of fun and be like, oh, I finally got to do it again. But then it's like, oh, here we got that. The last 2 pounds are always the pounds you're like, oh man.
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm glad everything went well. How did camp go? Who did you get to work with this time around leading into the fight?
Oh, me, Johnny, Zach. There's 4 other guys, 3 other guys in the car. We all trained together. Danielle from my gym as well, so it was good. Everyone from the gym was all around all the time. There was a lot of people training for this.
Good. Yeah, a lot of momentum, I'm sure, in the gym. Let's talk about your opponent, Mary Rosenbeck. What do you know about her? How do you feel like you match up against her here?
I know she's got a 1-1 record and she'll be tough. I'm just looking forward. I know it's going to be a fun, tough fight, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. Take me through sort of, the motions going into camp. Like you said, it's been a while since you've had an MMA fight. Did you get those butterflies again? Because again, it's been a while since you've been in the cage.
I did in the beginning, and then it was just finally get to do this, so it'll be fun.
Did you ever think you'd be in a bar talking to someone like me? I mean, they got a pretty cool setup going on tomorrow night, right?
No, yeah, I was a little caught off guard for this.
No, it's good. It's good. It's great. And it seemed like the weight cut went well. You're in good spirits. I mean, you probably wouldn't be talking to me right now if things weren't going well. So everything A-okay?
Yeah, this weight 140 is much better than 125, so I definitely enjoyed it. That's fun, 125. So.
You talked about not being able to get fights. Like, was it also just opponents not being available as well? Like, how frustrating was it not to be fighting as frequently? Because I'm sure on your end you were ready to go.
Oh yeah, that was an absolute nightmare. My teammates totally tell you about that. It's been absolutely the worst. I had 3 injuries myself, 3 surgeries myself, so there's a couple that I got hurt, but I was actually going to take the fight with the torn ACL, and I was still going to do it. But then that opponent bailed out the week of the fight. She didn't get on the airplane. Another time, she fell through a roof, and then
fell through a roof. Really? Was she trying to hook up a satellite dish or something? What happened there?
No idea. She fell through the roof 2 weeks out, and then she wanted to set up the fight again, and then she fell through the day before she didn't get on the plane. So yeah, it's been rough. So I'm just really grateful that this opponent, Mary, took the fight and that she showed up. And so, yeah.
Now, because of all this, are you superstitious now? Just making sure, you're not hanging around with any black cats or breaking any mirrors or anything like that, just to make sure this fight actually happens?
Oh yeah, I didn't want to tell anyone that I was official till I don't know, we had the document signed, and I still held off because I was afraid. I feel like every time you post it on Facebook, you have a fight, my luck, it always falls through right after. So yeah. But,
we got a question. Yeah. We got a question from the chat, and again, if you're in the chat right now, send us your questions. We're happy to answer them on here. Kind of a basic one, but this is kind of a cool question. What's the most exciting factor of returning to the cage? We mentioned the layoff for you. How excited are you going into the cage tomorrow night?
I'm pumped. I can't wait to grind some meat in the cage. It'll be fun. Just getting punched again will be great. I've been doing grappling this whole time, so I've had I don't know, tons of matches and tournaments. To be able to punch and the whole combo of everything will I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Prediction for tomorrow night. How do you see the fight unfolding?
I don't know. I don't know, man. It'll be three. It'll just be fun. I'm going to put everything I have in there and it'll be exciting. That's all I know.
And not looking past tomorrow night, but what's the plan? Obviously, we're coming up to the end of the year. I imagine you got a big 2025 plan. What are some of your short-term goals for next year?
Well, just a couple vacations and then hopefully start getting fights again. It always takes forever to find fights, but I'd love to early 2025 start getting back in the cage. But I'll be doing grappling and all that still. I love competing. I love having stuff scheduled and training towards stuff. So, yeah.
Excellent. My last question. It might be the hardest one. Where are you going on vacation? I'm curious. You piqued my interest.
Oh, probably. I think we're going to go skiing. We're looking into somewhere in New Hampshire.
Have you ever been to Canada? I live in Vancouver. Whistler's one of the best places to ski in the world. Are you aware of this?
Oh, yeah. Tremblant is my favorite. We're trying to go there.
Okay. That's a good spot, too.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, Christina, thank you so much. We're looking forward to the card tomorrow and your fight specifically. Thank you so much for doing this, and best of luck tomorrow night.
Awesome. Thanks.
There you go. So that is Christina. There we go. That was great. Really, really good stuff from Christina there. Again, one of the fights on the card, a catchweight fight, which I love. I love how promotions. And by the way, in case people are wondering, a little bit under the weather here today, guys. Not on my A game, but we're trucking through and playing hurt, as they say. But what I was just going to say, one of the things I love about Cage Titans is they certainly have the catchweight fights, and usually you're going to get better fights that way, right? You're not going to have to focus as much on the weight cut. So we talked about with Christina there, hasn't been in the cage for a while. It's probably better to do a catch weight, not worry so much about, the scale, so to speak, going into the fight. So, really, really big fight there as well. We got our next guest coming up here, Marty Navis. I hope I'm saying that right, Marty. If I'm not, I apologize, but let's get you on the screen here. I'm going to pop off. Marty, how you doing, man?
Good, how you doing?
Doing great. How did weigh-ins go this morning? You're here, so it must have gone well.
Yeah, I went smooth. Yeah, very smooth.
Take me through camp and you getting this fight. Looked like you got a decent amount of notice. How did camp go leading into this?
Camp actually went really good. I had about 10 weeks of just hard training, 3 to 4 hours a day. It went really good. And I feel great. I honestly never felt better.
Okay, that's excellent. And one of the nice things for you, a Cage Titans veteran, how nice is it to be with a promotion where you're going to get a lot of opportunities? They're doing cards all the time. What does it mean to be a part of the Cage Titans family?
Oh, it means everything. These Cage Titans is awesome. Especially, I'm only 20 minutes down the street too, so this is just awesome. Awesome for my people. Just everything. Cage Titans treats us really good, better than any other promotion around the area, especially locally. So. It's everything.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever think you'd be in a cool bar like this talking to me? I mean, how nice is that? They pull out all the stops, right?
Yeah, no, never.
Yeah. After the fight, though, probably head there for sure. Take me through your opponent here, or talk a little bit about your opponent, Aaron Trecell, 11-fight veteran. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Yeah, I think I match up really good. I know he likes to come out and try to get right to it. Very flat-footed, head on center line. I think I can definitely exploit that. But yeah, especially if it goes in the later rounds, that favors me all day too.
Is that one of those things where the game plan changes a bit? Try and maybe weather the early storm and kind of drag it into deep waters? Because like you said, that plays to your strengths.
Yeah, exactly, and who knows? I got a heavy storm too, so. Who knows? If I can get off in the first round, he's going to have to weather that heavy storm. Plus, he's going to have to weather my cardio in the later rounds as well. So I mean, it's a good fight for me, so I like it a lot.
I know there's always pressure going into fights. I know you're on a bit of a skid here. Any added pressure, or you just treat every fight the same?
No, actually, this one's no pressure at all. I got nothing to lose here. This is honestly my last fight. I've already said it.
Okay.
I'm just coming back for one more, and I got no pressure. You know, I'm going out there with nothing to lose, and I'm going to get my hand raised.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just having fun, right? It's feel like you're kind of playing with house money here.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
We got a question here in the chat. What drove you to come out of retirement for this fight?
The way I walked away, I just couldn't walk away. The love for the sport. I just love the fight, you know. So, I knew I needed at least one more, and the time was now. You know, a lot of guys will like hang it up. And they go, I gotta do one more, and that one more never comes because they never they just prolong it. Me, I was like, I gotta do one more. I set myself up with a date earlier this year. Actually, I was like, this is what I'm doing. It like the time is now. If I kept waiting, it probably wouldn't have happened. So the time is right now. And here we are.
Take me through camp a bit. Who are some of the main training partners helping you get ready for this one?
Jack Condon, huge trainer partner. Miguel Severson. I had a lot of good guys at Lowe's on MMA. And Dan Savory, BJJ, great grappling rounds. But yeah, two of my main trainer partners is Jack Condon and Miguel Severson, and they're great. We give each other the best work. So
excellent. Prediction. I mean, looking at your fights, they typically don't go the distance. I don't think we'll see the judges on this one. How do you see this fight unfolding?
I'm going to go with a second round TKO.
There you go. And I believe you because you didn't hesitate. You just said it right away. So I know you're being serious here. Didn't even have to think about it. Take me through what retirement's going to look like after this fight. For people who might not know, what do you do outside of the cage?
So I'm actually in local 17, which is sheet metal out of Boston. And
awesome.
Yeah, and I have two kids at home, and you know, before I was fighting and working at the same time because realistically, fighting does not pay the bills, especially in the lower levels. So I still had to pay the bills and take care of my family, and it took a lot of time away from them. So, and then the last couple of fights just didn't go my way. I was trying to do it all, and clearly I couldn't do it. So I had to hang it up. You know, it's not their fault. You know, that I want to do with this. So. But yeah, so I actually took a 10-week layoff of work for this fight camp. So I was training full time and no work this whole time, but I do got to go back to work after this. And that's it. You know, I'm just going to be a family man, and I've already been a family man, but without fighting, you know, so.
And that's got to boost the confidence level, knowing you kind of gone all in for this camp, right? You mentioned it there, taking the time off and going in. Imagine confidence has got to be at an all-time high because you pulled out all the stops.
Yeah, exactly. Confidence is sky high right now. My camp was awesome. Trainer partner is awesome. Everything went so smooth. Weight cut went smooth. Diet went smooth. You know, so the fight's going to go smooth. You know, you fight how you train.
Yeah, exactly. Marty, thank you so much for doing this. We're looking forward to the fight tomorrow night. Best of luck, and thanks for taking some time here today.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
There you go. That is Marty Navis, I should say. Big fight tomorrow night in the welterweight division. You don't want to miss that one. We're going to be waiting for our next guest here. Again, appreciate you tuning in to the Cage Titans Q&A show. My name is James Lynch. Lynch on Sports is the handle. We're just waiting for our next fighter here. But if you guys have any questions about anything on the card, post them in the chat. Facebook. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. We're everywhere. X. You name it. We got all the platforms covered. So nobody's safe on social media. We're everywhere here for the Cage Titans Q&A. Love doing this. Love talking to the fighters. If you haven't seen my stuff, I'm all over the place interviewing fighters from the regional level all the way up to the UFC. So very happy, and very happy to talk to my next guest. Really excited for this fight. He's going to be taking on Luis Pena. We're just waiting for the headset to get set up. I love this because I can see in the corner of my eye what's sort of going on here. But we are happy to be joined by Zach Disabatino. Zach, how you doing, man? How are you?
Hello, good. I'm good. How are you?
Doing awesome. Just tell me how excited you were to get this opportunity fighting a UFC veteran in Luis Pena.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I always just want like a really quick turnaround, so I'm just glad to be fighting anyone. But this should be very exciting to fight him, actually.
Absolutely. Were you pretty familiar with him before accepting this fight, or was he one of those guys you had to look up?
Yeah, no. I mean, he was on the Ultimate Fighter with my teammate at the time, JoJo. So I watched the whole season with him on it and stuff like that. And then I saw his fight in the finale and everything. So yeah, I've been familiar with him. I've seen a couple of other fights afterwards and everything. Yeah.
Take me through camp a bit. Who are some of the people that helped you get ready for this fight?
Yeah, so Johnny, who's also fighting on the card, and then my teammates Christina and Aiden, who also are. So that's cool because the last, for a while now, I've just been kind of fighting. Usually been the only one fighting on the event, or maybe one other person or something. So those three. But then there's everyone in my gym. Everyone shows up all the time and stuff like that to help me train and stuff. So it's good. We have a bunch of good guys.
And speaking of good, we got a good question here. He says, "Did you watch Pena's last fight at Cage Titans? And if so, what did you think of it?"
Yeah, I didn't watch it live. By the time because he was a fight right after mine. So by the time I got back to the locker room out of the, being checked up by the doctors and everything, I didn't see it live. Once I got the fight with him and once the video came out and everything, then I looked it up. It was fine, he lost, but it's not like he really did anything bad per se. His wrestling still looked pretty decent. I know the guy he fought was like a very good wrestler. He was going for subs and his striking looked good. So yeah, nothing really too much to say about it.
He's obviously a big guy for the weight class. Do you bring anyone in like that to as far as training to sort of mimic that, or you just kind of focus on your skill set?
Not really. I mean, we have a few, taller guys at the gym. Everybody at my gym kind of trains with everyone. Really don't go like just by weight class and stuff like that. So, I'll train with taller guys here and there. There's a couple guys like right around his height, but I didn't really, I don't really bring in him specifically to mimic him. I'm used to fighting maybe not people as tall as him, but pretty tall guys. So I'm comfortable with it.
And you mentioned getting a quick turnaround. You were on the last Cage Titans card. You had that draw with Solo Hatley Jr. Well, it's not a loss. I know it's not a win either. Just your overall thoughts on the performance. Solo, a guy who's been in there. He's fought the who's who sort of in MMA. Just your overall thoughts on your performance in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot I could say about that. To be honest, I think I kind of just messed up strategy-wise. I was up by a couple points at the end of the first round. I won the first round, then he got the point taken away. So I knew I had a big lead. So in my mind, I thought I could kind of, coast through the second. I know I did hit him with a decent shot, split his nose open a little bit, but I was trying to kind of just conserve energy and coast, thinking I could kind of win the third round pretty easily. And then I didn't. So that kind of backfired on me. So yeah, kind of just a little mess up strategy wise on my end.
Is there a little bit more motivation? Because I know you wanted the win there, and now you get this opportunity. A lot of times in fighting, you have to wait 6 months for your next fight, but here you're getting a nice turnaround here. Is there like a little bit of a boost going into this one because of that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was just easier to get back into training. Like it was good. I didn't really have to take any time off after my last fight. And I do better just the faster I fight afterwards and everything. So it was just much more, motivating and whatnot.
19 career fights for Luis Pena. I think he's only been finished twice in his career. Does that change the game plan a bit, or do you still go in there looking for the finish, even though you're fighting a pretty durable guy?
Not really. I don't think he's ever been knocked out before. It's been submitted a couple times, but that's not really going to change what I do at all. Same fight.
How do you see the fight playing out tomorrow night?
You have to see, I guess. We have to wait and see.
There you go. Don't give away the game plan. I like it. Yeah. No, fair enough. And, we sort of know this already, but, anytime you get a win over a UFC veteran, that usually leads to getting a call from the UFC. What are the implications of a victory here, especially a finish like you're predicting tomorrow night?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I try not to really think about that stuff. I know I've been asked that question a couple times before, and I really don't like to get ahead of myself. Thinking where I'm going to go afterwards and stuff like that. And that's just not really my personality, to be honest. So, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get up to the next level. I'm trying to get a call from, a bigger promotion and stuff like that. I would love that, but it's just not really what's on my mind right now. My mind is just on fighting right now, on fighting Luis and beating him at the moment.
There you go. The humble approach. I like it. As a Canadian, I can respect it. Zach, thanks so much for doing this. We're looking forward to the fight tomorrow night. Best of luck.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
There you go. That is Zach Disabatino. Big fight against Luis Pena tomorrow night. So Pena coming off a loss on the last Cage Titans card. Zach coming off a draw. Both guys really looking for redemption here. So that is one you do not want to miss on this event. Again, Cage Titans pulling out all the stops. One of the things I love is that they keep matching up, former UFC fighters. And, that's an opportunity for the UFC fighter, the UFC vet, I should say, to go in there and, get back to the UFC. Or it's an opportunity for another fighter to use that fighter's name and build themselves up and make it like Zach has the opportunity tomorrow night. So really looking forward to that. Again, we're going to roll on with some more fighters here. Just waiting to see who the next fighter is. My name is James Lynch. I know I've said that a number of times, but in case you don't know, got to remind you. And just keep your questions coming. We're going to be here for the next little bit talking to fighters on Cage Titan 68 tomorrow night. You can go check it out again. Plymouth Memorial Hall if you want to go see that one live. Totally recommend that. And also, you can watch on Spectation Sports if you can't make it. And right now, we got the other half of the women's fight that I already spoke to Christina. Going to be speaking right now to Mary Rosenbeck. Excited to talk to her. We're going to bring her on the screen right now. And I'm going to get off the full screen here. Mary, how you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm not going to be punching someone in the face tomorrow night, and if I did, I'd get arrested. So happy to talk to you. Just tell me how excited you were to be a part of this card. It's a pretty star-studded event.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I was like, they asked me, and I was like, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, for sure. Did you know much about Christina before taking this fight, or is she someone that you had to go look up?
Someone I had to look up. I didn't know nothing.
Okay. Is that, I suppose as well with your career, you're probably more focused on what you bring to the table and not so much on your opponents. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Excellent. We haven't seen you fight since 2023. Has it been difficult getting fights? I know for a lot of women it is. There aren't that many options, or you have fighters pull out. Do you experience that a lot throughout your career?
Not here lately. I just took some time to kind of focus on training, getting better with the wrestling.
Okay, fair enough. And let's dive right into training. Where did you train for this camp? Who have been some of your main training partners helping you get ready for this one?
I train at Militia MMA down in East Ridge, Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I have a bunch of women that help me, and then I have a bunch of coaches. I have Coach Tom Galicchio. I have Alex.
Oh, nice. I know Tom. Great guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I have Jeff Powell. And then I have Lisa, Melissa, Christy, all the female fighters, and then George. He's a pro fighter from the gym. Just a bunch of guys helping me get ready.
What's it like learning from Tom, someone that's obviously fought at the highest level? He must be a wealth of knowledge when it comes to being a coach.
It is, yeah, especially with jiu-jitsu, wrestling. Like, he explains everything to a T, and I'm just a quick learner under him.
Yeah, does he keep the mood a bit light too? I know he does a little bit of stand-up comedy too sometimes.
Yeah, he's a pretty funny guy. I'm probably the only one
I'm sure that helps, right? It makes the environment and the team, right, a lot better when you have someone that's, can liven things up maybe when things get tough or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Again, Christina, we sort of talked a bit about her there. Do you put any stock into, the layoff? I know she's done some grappling, but first MMA fight for her since May of 2021. Do you believe in cage rest at all?
Do I believe in what?
Do you believe in like cage rest? So she hasn't fought MMA since 2021. That's a bit of a gap there in between fights.
Yeah, I believe in it. Yeah, I took 2 years off, and when I came back, it was definitely a little more than I remembered, but either way, though, we're just going to have fun.
Who's going to be in your corner tomorrow night?
I have Jeff Powell and Tom Galicchio and my dad.
Okay, that's good. Is dad always in your corner, or is this something new?
No, always in my corner since day one.
That's cool. Okay, I love it. Yeah, it's a family affair. That's great. And I imagine the weight cut went well. How did everything go? It's nice that it's a catch weight, right?
Oh, yeah. It was super easy. So
yeah.
I was so excited. At 140, I was like, I'll be there. That's easy.
Have you fought 140 before?
I fought 135 before.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say because 140 is probably a little bit easier. People don't think 5 pounds is a lot. It is, right? So it's sort of, it's nice not to have to focus on that as much. And obviously, a big fight tomorrow night. How do you see it unfolding? How do you see the fight playing out?
I see it. We're going to keep it standing. That's my game plan. Just keep it standing, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And we got a question here. How glad are you that New England cold weather really hasn't hit yet?
I'm really glad. I don't do well in the cold.
For sure. Did you bring a winter jacket just in case or no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Winter jacket and sweats. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And we sort of talked about it there. Obviously, you're young in your career. What's sort of the plan after this? Not looking past tomorrow night, but is it about keeping active? Is it about finding the right opportunities? What are some of your short-term goals in this sport?
Keeping active. Definitely want to fight way more.
Yeah, for sure. And how's it been so far, competing being on Cage Titans, debut for you? You got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, this place is amazing. Like, the whole promotion is 100%. I'd recommend it to everyone.
Yeah, no, that's great. And, how did this even come together with you linking up with Cage Titans?
Actually, they reached out to Tom a while ago, and then I was like, yeah, I'll fight her. I'll fight anyone. So.
There you go. Well, Mary, best of luck tomorrow night. We're looking forward to it. Thanks so much for taking some time here today.
Thank you so much.
There you go. really big fight on the Cage Titans card, the lone women's fight on the main card. Actually, I'm just looking in general. I don't think there is any other women's fight, so that's good. We getting our quota here, which is great. Another good fight on this card. Again, my name is James Lynch. If you guys have any questions, keep them coming. Even if there's fighters that were not on the screen, there's obviously going to be getting other names on this card as well, like Chris Montino, probably Johnny Campbell. So if you guys have any questions, just post them in the chat, and I will get to them. And speaking of the devil, I just mentioned Johnny Campbell. You guys tell me, does he not look like Chuck Norris? I brought this up in our interview a little while back, but really happy to be talking to Cupcake. Him and I go way back. We've been doing interviews for a while, and glad to be catching him here again today. Johnny Campbell. Johnny, how you doing, man? Long time no talk.
Oh, feeling really good. Feeling really good to be here. Thank you so much.
That's good. The beard is still going strong, too. You keeping it intact, right? Got that Chuck Norris energy.
It is. I'm going to trim it a little bit tomorrow so I look a little bit more youthful, but yeah, it's going to be intact.
And then the commission doesn't have an issue with it, as they shouldn't, because, if you look like Chuck Norris, that should be something they should encourage.
I agree 100%. It adds a slight defensive advantage, too.
So we talked, obviously, in our interview about, a little bit of bad blood going into this fight, a lot of history with you two. You already beat Chris a number of years ago. Have you seen Chris? What's that vibe been like going into this one? Is it similar to when you guys fought the first time?
Yeah, a little bit. I have not seen him yet today, but I know that from just interviews and things that he's still taking this as an emotionally driven event for him. So I'm looking forward to just beating him up for all the dieting and all the weight cutting that I just had to do to be eligible to fight. So I just can't wait to go in and put hands on him.
Do you like having this going into a fight where there is a little bit of trash talk, or do you prefer to just go in and handle your business?
I like the trash talk because it's just more fun for me. I think that it adds an element of entertainment to everything, and I am a huge proponent of being entertaining. Some people just like to get in and fight and don't really think about the other part of it, really. If there's no fighters, there's no fight. If there's no fans, there's no fight, really. So we really need to entertain these people, and I love when there's a little bit of trash talk. And I'm always going to go ahead and poke at my opponent, whether or not they're interested in engaging in the trash talk. I will absolutely take full advantage of the opportunity that I have and make the event as entertaining as possible.
How did the rest of camp go? We spoke a couple weeks ago. I know everything was firing on all cylinders. Everything finished up quite good the way you wanted it to?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything feels great. Weight was fantastic. Weight cut was amazing. I'm feeling a little banged up right now, just trying to get hydrated. But ultimately, considering the weight cut was great, and that was a testament to how good the camp was.
Yeah, and I got to say, man, I feel like I'm talking to the same Johnny from a few weeks ago. You haven't missed a beat, so I would say the weight cut went well, too. It's looking good. I asked you this in our interview, but we got a question here from a Facebook user. What's the biggest difference between 2019 Johnny and 2024 Johnny? Great question, other than the beard.
Great question. Man, I am just a better fighter. I think I would kick the crap out of 2019 Johnny. I think I was dangerous, as always back then. But I think that everything is just more refined, more mature. I'm just as explosive as I was then, just as fast, but I'm smarter, more mature. Yeah, honestly, I think 2019 Johnny, I think I would beat him up however I wanted to right now. I could knock him out. I could take him down and submit him. I could do anything to that guy. And, I think that Chris ultimately is effectively the same guy, if not a worse version of himself, to be honest. So I'm always improvement. That is something that I've always held dear to myself, is my ability to move forward and continue improving regardless of outcomes. And that's why I'm here today.
If all goes well tomorrow night, regardless of the outcome tomorrow night, do you guys see you and Chris patching things up, or do you think that's one of those things you'll just, let it lie, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you watch our first fight, after I finished him, I went up to him and I whispered in his ear, "I know that you hate me right now, but I think you're a great fighter." I like to trash talk and bring animosity to the fight, but I'm really I'm a people person and I love everyone. So I want to beat Chris up, and I will. And it kind of dawned on me in the hot tub today, like I might have to hurt this guy. Like he's not somebody who goes away easily, so I might have to seriously try to hurt him. And at the end of the fight, though, 100%, he's just a brother to me. Really, we're all one. We're all part of the same. We're all from Adam and Eve. So I really do believe that we are brothers in some way. We just have to go in there and settle whatever it is that we have between us. And for me, it'll be over. For him, we'll see.
For sure. Look at this. If fighting doesn't work out, you can always be a philosopher. I like the quote at the end there. That's great. Johnny, thanks for doing this. Seriously, this is the second time we've done an interview sort of leading into this, so I really appreciate the time as always. Best of luck tomorrow, and I got to tell everyone, this is the fight to watch tomorrow night. Trust me, it's going to be a good one.
100% feature fight. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the interviews.
Yeah, appreciate it. There it is. Johnny Campbell. Loved interviewing Johnny. Great guy. Really good energy. And you saw it there. I mean, like I said, sounded like the exact same guy I talked to a little while ago when we did our interview. We did it a few weeks ago. You can find that on Spectation Sports on their YouTube channel. Really good stuff there. But yeah, some bad blood between these two. If you don't know the history, they fought a number of years ago with Johnny beating Chris Montino. Now they're fighting again here under the Cage Titans banner. So we get a grudge match here on this card in the co-main event. So you definitely don't want to miss this one. Chris Montino, Johnny Campbell, one of my favorite fights on this card. My name is James Lynch. Again, we're talking to more fighters here on Cage Titan 68. They have weighed in today, and we're going to get their insights sort of leading into the fight. So that's pretty much what we're looking at right now, leading into Cage Titan 68. And yeah, appreciate. Oh, look, so happy to talk to my next guest. One of my favorites. Always makes time for me, and one of the best, nicest guys in the game here. Happy to be joined by Luis Pena, and he's got a nice hat on right now. Luis, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, James. Nice to talk to you.
Good to talk to you as well. How happy were you to get, a quick turnaround here? That's one of the benefits of Cage Titans, putting shows on all the time. You get to come back and fight again shortly after your last fight.
If I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you,
that's all I want. Yeah.
I didn't really want to take this fight. I didn't really feel like turning around this quickly. There's just some things that were going on in my personal life that needed to be taken care of financially, and the only way I know how to do that is by fighting. So sometimes, you got to do things you don't want to do in life, and I'm a man, so this is how I take care of things.
Well, hey, I appreciate the honesty. That's one of the things I love about you, Luis. Ever since we've been doing interviews, years ago, you've always been upfront and straight with me. So I love the honesty. That's why I ask these questions, because every now and then, people always say, oh, it's a dumb question, how happy or whatever. But this is why sometimes you get stuff like this. So with all that said, I mean, you've been through a lot. We talked about this in our last interview. You've overcome a lot too. How much better prepared are you for situations like this now than maybe you were even 5 years ago? Because you've been through a lot, man, and you've come out on top a lot of times.
Yeah, actually, that's a great way to put it, because that's honestly what has helped me, persevere through the challenges of accepting a fight that I never necessarily wasn't 100% mentally motivated for. Knowing the things that I've been through, the challenges I've faced, and just the last few years of my life that I've had to get through, that I've persevered through, really helped me put it together mentally. Especially I wasn't necessarily able to put together the greatest camp as well, just with everything I've got going on in my personal life. And then on top of that, I've with work and everything like that. And I even picked up a second job. So it's just been a roller coaster the last few weeks since the last fight getting here. But, it's like you said, I've been through a lot. I've been through quite a bit these last few years. And it's just not something, at one point, I was a little nervous. I was kind of going through that bog of doubt, but I'm here on the other side and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to kick ass on Saturday night.
Yeah, and you're here and you made weight and it's all great, right? So that's sort of the main stuff out of the way, and then you get to have the fun part tomorrow night, which is go out and fight. Did you know much about Zach before taking this fight? I know obviously he was on the last card with you, but did you watch his fight against Solo Hatley Jr.? How familiar were you taking this fight?
We've been trying to make this fight with Disabatino on Cage Titans now for probably a year. I've probably been asking to fight him for a year now. So it was interesting that they finally accepted. I'm sure the last fight gave him a little bit of confidence, and I'm glad whatever spurred that he decided to accept the fight. He seems like a tough dude. He's kind of well rounded, decent on the feet. Leans a little more heavy towards the grappling side of things. But I'm prepared for everything that he's going to throw at me. I just think I'm kind of a step ahead in all facets of the game.
How was camp? What did that look like leading into the fight? As far as because we mentioned sort of a bit of short notice here in terms of your last fight and this fight. What type of camp did you have? Who'd you get to work with?
I worked. Honestly, I mainly worked with my boy TJ Brown.
Nice, downtown.
Yeah, he's not here with me this weekend. He had a family obligation, but I did a lot of my work with TJ. We did a lot of sparring together, and honestly, I did a lot of work on my own. I did a lot of work, and that was honestly something I kind of needed to just kind of buckle down and force myself to work hard when there's no one there watching you, when there's no one there making sure you're doing the extra and you're doing all the things you need to do. That takes I feel like it takes like a special kind of person to be able to put that together.
Not only with the fact that TJ's obviously, I've heard from a number of fighters just what a great mentor and coach he is as well, but I'm sure a guy too that you mentioned, like I said, this wasn't the most ideal situation. How nice was it to have him to sort of uplift you a little bit too? You mentioned working on your own, but I'm sure TJ's there as a good motivator getting through this camp too.
Oh yeah, man. So funny story. I don't know. I didn't really plan on telling this, but I even tried to pull out of this fight on Monday. Did not. I was like, dude, I'm not prepared. I'm not like I was sick. Like I got sick from all the stuff I've been going through. Had a lot of stress on my plate, and I hit TJ up and I was like, yeah, dog, I'm trying to pull out and they're kind of not letting me. Like, what do I do? And he was like, Luis, like, why are you so worried? And I just kind of told him everything, and he was like, man, you're a dog. Like if it wasn't for TJ and my high school wrestling coach and my mom and my dad, I don't know if I would have been mentally prepared to get here, because I was going through it mentally, like just leading into this, because I've never been through a situation like this in my life and then had to fight on top of it. There's always been like a buffer of time between like all of the craziness and then fighting. So having to deal with the whole tornado and the tornado of fighting all in one had me kind of going crazy. But then, I was lucky to have someone like TJ there to kind of bring me back down.
Good. Well, we're glad to have you here, man. Obviously, we always love watching you fight. How do you see the fight unfolding tomorrow night with you and Zach?
Oh man, I think it's gonna be a very exciting fight. I'm preparing to weather an early storm. I know he likes to come out strong the first few minutes of the first round, and I think that's either going to leave it play into my game really well and give me some openings that I'll be able to capitalize on, or it's just gonna make for a nice, exciting 3-round war. But however it goes, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm in good shape, and I'm excited. I'm ready to go fight.
We got a great question here from one of our users. What legacy do you want to leave for yourself?
Oh, that is a good question. Man, at this point in my career, I'm not even worried about like a legacy as far as MMA and like what people will think of me on a greater scale. The legacy I want to leave is like an example of like perseverance, hard work, and dedication for my daughter and my future kids. The legacy I want to leave is I want them to be able to look at this part of my life as an example of doing hard things, not because you need to or you have to, but because you want to, because you want to challenge yourself and you want to persevere through hard things that you put yourself through. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I've come at as far as like where I'm approaching fighting anyway on a grand scale.
Love it. Last question for me. Did you end up getting that video game thing? I know we talked about this last time.
Yes,
what are you playing? Did you get any gaming in this camp? I know it's been stressful, but I'm sure got a little video game time, no?
Yeah, actually, I've been playing a lot of the Resident Evil 4 remake that they released in February. I've been playing that. I got the Ultimate Edition on that, and then Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero came out. I've been killing it on that. But on my little like handheld, they got like there's this Pokemon ROM hack called Pokemon Unbound. That's the one I've been playing. Yeah.
So is that like the old Pokemon, like the red and the blue and all that? But it's just a different story or a different thing?
So it's like
I got to check that out. I played red and yellow when I was a kid, so I got to get into that again. I'm waiting till my son's a bit older because he likes Pokemon, but he can't read obviously everything yet, but I want him to experience it because it's a really good game. For those who don't know what we're talking about, if you're an old school gamer, you'll know about the Pokemon series. It was a very good game back in the day. So, hey, thanks for doing this, Luis. Best of luck tomorrow night. We're looking forward to it, and thanks as always for making time, man.
No problem. Thank you, James, for having me. I appreciate you guys. Always appreciate the talk. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's great. There we go. One half of our big fight tomorrow night, Luis Pena and Zach Disabatino, the main event of our card tomorrow. So it's going to be really, really, really solid as far as the event and the fight and everything. So, yeah, like I said, I've known Luis Pena since, before he was in the UFC, before he was on The Ultimate Fighter. Great guy. Been through some stuff. I mean, it's out there. If you guys want to go read about it, he has been through a lot. And for him to make this fight, a lot on the line here for him. And we'll see how it goes. Like I said, tough fight there against Zach Disabatino. But I'm looking forward to it. And it's always good to chat with him. Really, really good guy. And I'm very happy to talk to my next guest here. It's been a while since him and I have chatted. My colleague, Ed Carbajal, got an interview with him beforehand. But this fight is going to be amazing. It's going to be for the Cage Titans title here. We got one half of the title fight coming up here. So happy to talk to my next guest. One of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the sport. Yorgan De Castro. It's been a while. How are you, my friend?
How are you doing, my man? Nice to see you. Nice to talk with you.
Yeah, you as well. You as well. I see the big smile on your face. How happy are you to be back fighting, close to home and getting to fight for a title too?
Man, I'm very happy, man. It's gonna be a good night. All my family, friends, gonna be here, so it's like my home turf, And I'm excited to get back to Cage Titan and excited to fight for the fans and in front of my family and friends.
How did this all come together with you fighting for Cage Titans?
I'm still under contract with the Fight Nation over in Europe, but they're only gonna bring me back in March. So I like to stay busy. I get in touch with them and say, hey guys, I need to fight. I need to fight often. I'm not getting any younger, so I need to fight. They give me a green light, so I touch base with Mike, and he said, "Oh, I can offer you a title fight." I say yes, man. I say yes with 30 seconds, and Joshua Master say yes, and here we are.
How excited are your friends and family? I'm sure once they found out, they were so happy to see you fight close to home.
Yeah, family is not too happy because this was my 5th fight this year. But that's what we do. If you call yourself a fighter, you gotta fight. And I'm feeling good. I'm in shape. I'm ready, and I don't like to miss opportunity. So I say yes. The friends, they love it, man. I'm gonna bring a great crowd tomorrow, and this is gonna be crazy tomorrow.
Yeah, and again, I mentioned it off the top there. My good friend and colleague at Spectation Sports, Ed Carbajal, got a great interview with Yorgan as well. If you guys want some more in-depth stuff, you got the article up as well. We got you covered over at Spectation Sports. But Yorgan, I wanted to know, Joshua Marsh, your opponent, someone that's been in there with some of the best, Chris Dawkins, he's been in there with Josh Silveria. You must have been excited to get an opponent like him who's a veteran like yourself. It's going to be a good treat for the fans here.
Very good. I think he's very well rounded. He got a lot of fights, 7-6. So, and his losses against some solid guy. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt, good wrestler. And then he won his last fight by knockout. So, he got a heavy hands. Heavyweight, well rounded. I'm looking for challenge too. I'm fighting good guys all over my career, and he's another good one. And I'm ready for whatever he brings to the table.
Yeah, it's going to be great. By the way, this is the main event. I think I misspoke on the last interview mentioning that Luis Pena, but obviously this is going to be the main event. It's the only title fight on this card, so really big opportunity here. How do you feel like your style matches up against Joshua's? Obviously, you guys are both heavy hitters. Is it just a striker versus striker? How do you sort of look at this fight?
No, he's definitely not a striker, man. He won his last fight by TKO, but I think he's a wrestler with a solid jiu-jitsu. He's a jiu-jitsu black belt. So if the fight stay in the feet, I think I'll win all day. But I know he's going to mix it up. I know he's going to try to take me down, but I'm ready to. I train for guys like that my whole life. I want to keep the fight standing, and then we're gonna go from there.
Take me through camp a bit. Who did you get to work with? Who were some of your main training partners?
Yeah, camp is the same. I stay with the regiment that I'll be over 7 years. We get some good grounding games, some good wrestler, and most of it will be standing up. So I don't really do the camp because this is my 5th fight this year. I just keep tuning in, keep getting better, and focus on myself.
How do you go about not overtraining? You mentioned the busy schedule this year. Do you have to kind of scale it back a little bit in training sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes I was feeling like a little bit tired a couple of weeks ago because you always train twice a day. For big guys, sometimes you got to pull back. So that's why I have a good support system. A great family and great coaches. I got good friends and coaches and teammates. That sometimes if you see I'm not give it all, they always pull me back. You need someone to pull you back. There's no such a thing as self-made man. We all need people around, good people around us, and I have a great team around me.
Great question here from one of our users. How does Joshua stack up against your past opponents?
No, he's very good, solid. Every fighter is different, and we're in different time too. I'm different time of my career. I think he's different time of his career too. So I think he's pretty solid. I'm taking him very serious, and I think tomorrow going to be a very good fight.
Where does a win over him put you, especially another finish? Because again, I know you want to get back, I'm sure, to the UFC eventually. What does a victory here do for your career?
So, not just by beating him. If I finish him and I grab another title, that's going to make me 3-time New England heavyweight champion. I'm already hold the title for NEF, CES, and I'm going to grab the cage title one. So I am the best heavyweight in New England. There's no way any big show going to come to New England and not talk about me. I'm not just the best because I have the most skills. I'm gonna have accomplishment to prove that I'm the best, and I'm willing to fight at any time against anyone. So this is just a cherry on top of the cake.
For sure. Happy to talk to you today, Yorgan. Really appreciate it. We're looking forward to it tomorrow night. Cage Titans. It's for the heavyweight title. We got the belt collector here, it seems. So Yorgan, thanks so much for doing this, and best of luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, my man. See you.
There you go. That is Yorgan De Castro going to be fighting Joshua Marsh tomorrow. If you got a chance, go check out my interview with Joshua on the Spectation Sports YouTube channel. Really good stuff. I've actually known Joshua for a while, dating back to, I don't know, years ago, because I do a lot of interviews. So it's nice to get to catch up with all different types of fighters. And like I said, one half of our main event is Yorgan De Castro and Joshua Marsh. Going to be a really, really great fight. We're just waiting for our next fighter. My name is James Lynch. This is the Cage Titans live Q&A show. Really appreciate you tuning in. And looks like we got the other half of the welterweight fight, which we were talking about earlier. Aaron Trecell. Aaron's going to be joining us here shortly. Just getting the headset in. And again, we already talked to his opponent, Marty Navis. So happy to welcome on Aaron here as he's getting the headset on. Look, I'm doing this in real time. This is great. And if you got any questions for Aaron, let me know. Aaron, how are you, man?
What's a good word? I'm great, though. We don't need a good word. I'm just great.
You're great. Yeah, for sure. Just how excited were you to get this fight? Obviously, a lot of people thought that Marty was, retiring, and he comes out and he is deciding to fight you. Just how excited are you for this matchup?
I'm over the moon. I'm damn near the man on it.
Okay. As simple as that. That's great, man. What do you make of that, though? Obviously, Marty says this is his last fight. Do you put stock into that sometimes fighters, when they do retire, maybe they're not as focused on the fight?
I think, nah. I think the people just get in their emotions and then they make quick decisions after fights. And then they realize, like, dang, I shouldn't have made that quick decision.
Yeah. Okay. Simple as that. How do you feel like stylistically you match up against Marty in this fight? Your skill set against his?
Very well. Very well. Especially because I feel like I've only showed, like, at best, 20% of myself. So.
Okay. That's good. What about camp? Who did you get to work with? Who were some of your main training partners?
Training partners, the usuals. We had I don't know people's names. It's drawing blanks. Ruben, I trained with a lot of the guys at Back to Basics, and I was at City Young Tone. So the guys that are there, I got 8 other teammates who are fighting on this card as well. So
awesome. The room's got to be good when that happens. You got so many fighters competing on the same event.
Exactly. We got 2 more guys competing next week, and then we had 4 people competing 2 weeks prior. So it was like everybody's working at the same time.
How does that work with your corner? Because obviously if you have a lot of teammates or coaches having to run around a bit, what's your corner going to look like for this fight?
I'm going to have Andy Cote. I'm gonna have Jeff Perez and Bruno Jacare. So
Okay.
not all of my teammates, not all of us share the same corners, but Andy and Jeff gonna have the work cut out that night. They're gonna be bouncing back and forth. Hopefully, they don't average back to back too much.
Okay. Looked like the weight cut went well. How did all that go?
It's probably one of my, I don't say easier weight cuts, because I actually cut more weight in the last 24 hours than I usually do, but it came off well. So in that respect, it was one of the easier weight cuts.
What's your prediction? How do you see the fight playing out tomorrow night?
Armbar.
Okay, there we go. Simple as that. Simple as that. So it should be good. And where does a win put you? Obviously, he's another veteran like yourself. Where does a win sort of put you in the grand scheme of things?
Just one more slot in the W column. I'm gonna need a few more to get where I'm going though.
For sure. That sounds great. Where'd you get the nickname Earthquake? Where did that come from?
I had the nickname since that was my first nickname ever. I got that when I was like 3 years old. I'm from Louisiana, and a lot of the houses in Louisiana aren't on the ground. They're on like stilts because of the flooding. And so when I go visit my grandma, I would run through her house, and I was like a really fat baby. And so I would shake the china cabinets. And so everybody would yell, "Oh no, it's an earthquake coming!" And so that's where everybody started calling me Earthquake.
Okay, that checks out. Good story. Good name there. Aaron, thanks so much for doing this. We're looking forward to it. Your fight tomorrow night in the welterweight division. Can't wait. Thanks so much for doing this, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to do it. So there you go. That is the other half of our welterweight fight taking place on the main card tomorrow night. Aaron Trecell, Marty Navis. So again, Marty going to be retiring after this fight. So that's sort of something to keep in mind here. And that's also why, again, we like talking to both fighters here. So great stuff there from Aaron. Nickname is Earthquake. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Again, keep the questions coming. We're going to be talking to a few more fighters here as we're continuing on with the Cage Titans 68 Q&A here as well. So there we go. Just waiting for our next fighter. Are you guys having a good time or what? I love doing this. So it's great getting to talk to all the fighters. Again, lots going on with Cage Titans, their big event tomorrow night. And just to clarify again, the main event tomorrow night is going to be Yorgan De Castro and Joshua Marsh for the heavyweight title. We've also got Luis Pena on the card. We've got Chris Montino. Don Shainis is on this card as well. Got a chance to speak to Don a few weeks ago. You can find that on the Spectation Sports YouTube channel. So a lot of good action here. And it looks like right now we've got John Medina going to be joining us here shortly. So John on this card, really, really big fight for himself in the bantamweight division. So excited to talk to John here. We're just going to wait for him to get the headset on. Going to be taking on Jacobo Apito. Hope I'm saying that right. 4-fight veteran. And now we're joined by John right now. Happy to be talking to him right now. John, how you doing, man? Thanks for taking some time.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Thank you.
Good. How did the weigh-in go? Yeah,
you can go.
No worries. You go ahead. I was just how did the weigh-in go?
It went well. Came in at 130 to be honest. But like I said, for a last minute thing, I'm all for it. I could have came in at 129 and I would have still took the fight, you know?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How much notice did you get for this fight?
It was close to 2 weeks.
Okay.
A little less, but I'm all for it, man. I've been looking for something before the year ends, so I'm glad to even have this opportunity, you know?
Yeah, and I bet you're happy you stayed ready right in the gym just in case something like this did come up, right? Because I know sometimes when you get that call, maybe the weight's not good, you know, but it looked like it all worked out well for you.
No. It definitely worked out well. That's why you got to stay ready so you have to, be ready, always stay ready.
Yeah, no, for sure. And little bit of a gap in between fights for you. I know you wanted to get back in there. Just how excited were you to get this opportunity with Cage Titans?
Very excited, man, just to step back foot in the place that gave me my debut, So I'm just very thankful for it, and I'm just ready to put on a show, especially a banger like this. First fight of the night that's pro. I'm ready to show out. So definitely do not blink.
Is this correct on Tapology? It says your last fight was in 2013. Have you had fights in between there and they just got it wrong, or have you been off that long?
No, so I did my amateur career was through Smokers, so that's why you don't see anything through there. But I did very well in Smokers. I went 10-2, but I was at 125. But I wish I would have went the different route. It would have been on the books. But yeah.
Okay. So when was your last fight then? Because obviously they don't have it on Tapology.
No, the last fight, I believe it was a boxing fight that I did because I've been doing boxing a little bit, and that was, I believe, September 20th. Yeah. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay, so recent then. Yeah, I was gonna say because it's a pretty big age gap in between, or big gap in between fights. So that's great. Right. What do you know about your opponent? 4-fight veteran. How do you feel like you match up against him here? To be honest, all I know is as much as that I looked up on him. not really worried about anything, to be honest. I'm ready to just throw my hands, man.
Is it one of those things where you're kind of more focused on your skill set, especially with this being short notice? You're probably not even thinking too much about the opponent. You're just like, I got to live up to my potential and do what I got to do, right?
Right. I'm not worried about him at all. Like I said, I don't doubt anybody, but this is my time. I'm not letting nobody step on my moment at all.
So we got a question from one of our users here. How much were you training when you were offered this fight?
I've already been training since my last fight, to be honest, because nobody could really find opponents for me at the weight that I wanted. So I've just been staying ready. I actually came from California. I had a boxing match out there. Dude didn't make weight, so I went out there for nothing, but still staying ready. So I just kept going. The motivation don't stop because I knew I was going to get a call or a message saying we got something for you, and that's exactly what happened here.
And you got to like coming from California, the weather not too bad in New England right now, right? So
right,
a little
right.
bit of a contrast, which is interesting. And then as far as like training partners and stuff, like what type of camp have you had? Obviously, we mentioned your training, but who'd you get to work with sort of leading into this?
So I have my own gym. It's me and my bro John Claw, and I have my brother Brian, which I train with, and Kevin DeManny, which is a jiu-jitsu expert as well. But I travel from gym to gym. I go to New York. Wherever they have good MMA gyms, I go there and I train, and that's how I go about it. I don't have a main gym. Like I said, my thing is traveling and learning from different people.
Your corner, what'll that look like for tomorrow night? Who's going to be in the cage with you?
I'll be my brother Brian and my other brother John.
Awesome. And prediction for the fight? How do you see it going down?
It's just gonna go down. That's how.
There you go. Don't reveal the game plan. I like it. And then after this, is it just about keeping active? Like what? Like not looking past tomorrow night, but is the plan to just try and rack some fights together and kind of build up that career? Like you said, you do boxing as well. So is it just kind of what the best opportunity is type thing?
No, I'm just looking to do my thing out here, man, and looking to get that W. That's all. I'm just trying to climb the ranks. That's all it is right now. And right now, this is the opportunity, and I'm taking it. I don't see it as nothing else.
There we go. John, thanks so much for doing this. Best of luck tomorrow night, and appreciate you making some time here today.
Thank you so much.
There you go. That is John Medina fight on the card. Going to be taking place at 135. So John going to be, like I said, Tapology's got to update that record a little bit, but yeah, going to be trying to keep active here, and a good fight here on the Cage Titan card. Like everything else we've got, like I said, a lot of really good fights here that we get to check out tomorrow night. And again, if you can't make it to the Plymouth Memorial Hall, go check it out on spectationsports.com. That's where all your regional action is. You see some of the, the future of the sport. And I think we got a really great fighter coming up here next. If it's who I think it is, I can only see a little tiny bit here because I'm looking in the little screen here. But I believe we have Don Shainis. Just waiting here for a second, guys. Keep your quiet. Oh, of course we got him in here. Perfect. I've already interviewed him, by the way. You can find that interview on Spectation Sports YouTube channel. But never a bad idea to talk to my next guest again. This guy can talk. He's a great fighter too, and always entertaining. And one of the fights I'm really looking forward to tomorrow night is Don Shainis here. Don, long time no talk. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great. How have things been since Monday to today? Since it's been a few days since we last spoke.
Yeah, obviously cutting weight sucks, but we got that over with, and hydrating up right now. So,
how'd it go? What are you drinking there for the kids out there?
Got some water, some gelato. Giving my sponsor a plug right now. So.
There you go. We got to get the sponsors in there, which is great. How did the last few days go? Obviously, big opportunity for you here on Saturday. I am sure there's a lot of excitement getting a fight again, especially for Cage Titans.
Yeah, I'm wicked excited, man. Nothing crazy's happened. It's just going through that whole wake up process. You caught me in the beginning of it, where I was still, happy and full of sodium and fluids, and now you're catching me like I just dehydrated. But we stepped on the scale, we made the weight, and now we're on. So I feel pretty good right now.
And weight cut was good for you?
I mean, it always sucks, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay, that makes sense. And again, like we covered a lot of stuff in our interview, so we're kind of going to go a little off the wall here. But are there any like fight week rituals for you? Like I know a lot of fighters will do like a team dinner the night before, after the weigh-ins or whatever. Or some fighters like to just stay in their room and meditate or whatever. Like, do you have like fight week things that you do on a regular basis leading into big fights like this?
I wouldn't say I have rituals. It really depends. I've lived and trained and fought all over the world and fought in different places, and it's one of these things where it depends on who you're with and your team around you and where you're fighting and what promotion, and Obviously, I like to grab some food with my team beforehand, but like other than that, nothing too crazy, like nothing too out of the ordinary.
Okay. Is there like a spot you're eyeing to go have that dinner tonight? Is there anywhere you like going around here?
Oh, I'm back home, man. I want a bar pie and a lobster roll. Come on.
Okay. Yeah.
You know,
simple as that.
It's crazy. You know, out on the West Coast, ain't nobody know what a bar pie is. You know, it's just like this pan personal pizza. They're bomb. So
when you're back home, do you get a lot of people hitting you up and you're kind of like, hey, I got a fight to do? Like, do you ever get people being like, hey, we should catch up? And you're like, listen, I'm here for business.
I had people buy tickets for me this morning as I'm in the tub cutting weight. Yes.
Right.
Yes, everyone.
Which is good and bad. It shows you got a lot of support, but at the same time, it's like, hey, it's a business trip, you know?
Of course. I got everyone and their mother that's coming out to see me, and I'm excited.
Did you get that phone thing sorted out?
Yeah. Oh my God. I still hate T-Mobile, but yeah. Thank God the last 4 days I've been able to communicate. So
that's good. You didn't end up switching phone carriers, did you, or did you stay with the same carrier?
No, I didn't end up switching phone carriers. Obviously, my ban on my texting got released. So I'm stuttering. For everyone that doesn't know, T-Mobile blocked my phone number, and because I was texting too many people to come see me fight, and it finally got released. So I'm super thankful. I did have to switch my phone line to a business account, but that way I won't have to deal with this in the future. But yeah, the next one's going to be even bigger and better.
That's good. And you still got a lot of tickets sold, is my understanding, right?
Yeah, I sold more than last time.
Okay. And I asked you this on Monday. I'll ask you again. Prediction for the fight tomorrow night. How do you see it going down?
I'm going to take it home in the first round.
There we go. And what's next after this? You sort of talked about it to me in the interview, but tell people who might not know what you got planned after this one.
They're going to have to watch my fight, whether it be live or online, and we're going to make the announcement in the cage.
There you go. Nice teaser, as we call it in the business. Don, thanks for doing this. Best of luck tomorrow night. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
There you go. Don Shainis. Shameless Don Shainis. Got to check out that fight. Going to be taking on Tom Santos tomorrow night, the Brazilian. Really, really good fight at that catch weight of 150. So again, just going down the card a little bit here. Obviously, main event, we've got Yorgan De Castro, Joshua Marsh. We've got Chris Montino, Johnny Campbell, Zach Disabatino, Luis Pena, and we got Don Shainis and Tom Santos. So how many UFC vets is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 UFC vets on this card. Got to like that. Which is awesome. Again, my name is James Lynch. This is the Cage Titans Q&A. We're going to keep things rolling here for a little bit longer as we're making our way through the card. A lot of good fighters on this event. And again, a good variety too, which is great. You know, you're getting some up-and-comers. You're getting some veterans. You're getting some, like I said, UFC veterans. You're getting a bit of everything on the Cage Titans 68 card. And a great way to, finish off the year. Cage Titans very active when it comes to putting on events. One of the best out there. And it's just great for the fighters. You know, I hear all the time fighters having tough times getting fights. And it's not something you have to worry about too much. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. As far as the event, again, if you can't see this fight live, first off, you should see this fight live. If you live even close to this area, go check it out. Plymouth Memorial Hall. It's a great venue. And on top of that, you could be seeing not only the future of this card, with some of the names on here, but also you get to see some familiar faces as well. So it's a good variety on this event too. But the main thing is, if you haven't already and you're not able to make the event, go check it out on Spectation Sports. That's who I work for. I love what they're doing. One of the reasons I got linked up with Spectation Sports again after a couple of years was because I'm a firm believer in the future of the sport, talking to the future, talking to the fighters. So if you're not signed up with Spectation Sports, you're missing out, because I can't tell you how many fighters, just speaking personally, who I've interviewed over the years who are household names now. That's exactly what's going on here. That's what's going on in tomorrow's Cage Titans card. So a lot of really great stuff there. Just going to double check and make sure. Okay. Oh yeah, we got Mike on here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was just double checking that if you wanted me on or not. So we got the Tony Soprano of Cage Titans joining us right now. Mike, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Tony Soprano, that's a great introduction.
There we go. One of the best in the business. Man, this card is really stacked top to bottom. I keep bragging about it, but how happy are you that everything came together the way it did?
Man, honestly, this fight card, we go back to July where we had, Barrett versus Giannetti, and that was a culmination of, 14 years and, 8 years of bad blood between them. It was like, how the hell do we ever, expand beyond that? How do you top that? That was everything that every Cage Titans fan has always been dreaming of. And then the pressure was on. And I think this fight card and the one after that, our last one, what we're doing now is just putting on more fights at a higher level. Like you see the amount of UFC veterans that are on this card. You have the headliner where you got Yorgan De Castro and Joshua Marsh for the heavyweight title. You got Chris Motino and Johnny Cupcakes, and then you got Luis Pena. So it's just like, and that's the third fight down from the top. So I think that's what our goal has been. We use that July as the launch pad, and now you're going to see these high-level fight cards. And as you remember from the last card, my goal is to have not just the one headliner. I want the third fight down being like, wow, that would have been a headliner in years past, or that could headline another card, but that's only the third fight from the top. So my long-winded answer is that. I'm excited for it.
Long-winded answer is you're leveling up, and it's great to see. Like I said, these are quality cards, and that's one of the things you can expect from Cage Titans. We've seen it every single event, and I even love the fact, we got a bit of another grudge match. You talked about the Barrett and Giannetti fight. This, Johnny Campbell and Chris Montino fight, a lot of bad blood there. Quick question here from our chat. What fight on this card do you think is going under the radar?
I think Aaron Trecell versus Marty Navis is that fight card. Yep. That fight that you're going to be like, it's fourth down from the top, and that could seal the show. I mean, those two fighters, if you've seen Aaron Trecell fight before, this kid is just all gas tank. He loves to throw down. He brings such a tenacity, and Marty Navis is exactly the same guy. Like, I've known Marty since his amateur debut, and this kid's fought for us a bunch of times, and he's just tenacity. They just love the fight. They're the most nicest gentlemen outside the cage, but when they get in that cage, they just throw down. And the reason why I love this fight is because, sometimes you see contrasts of styles. So, like, if you're a fan of the grappler and you're backing your grappler-based fighter, you might not like the style of the other guy. This is one that, like, if you're a fan of Marty Navis and his fight style, you would automatically be a fan of Earthquake and vice versa. So now they got to pick, and I just think it's just going to be an amazing fight.
How do you keep up the pace, Mike? Again, doing so many events, putting stuff together. If anyone knows how to put a fight card together, it's really challenging. How have you been able to keep things together and keep your sanity as well? Because I'm sure there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, man. In 15 years, it's been incredible. We've had some highs, some lows. It's just remembering at my core. The reason I started Cage Titans is because I was a fighter and I saw how promoters and companies out there treated people, and I said, you know what, I can do better. And my background was in marketing and sales, so I knew that aspect, and my passion's fighting. So I just blended the two, and that's what keeps me motivated, and that's what keeps these fight cards together. Because, like, if something happens to somebody, hell or high water, I'm doing everything I can to replace it, fix it, help the fighters, because I've been in their shoes with no help. So I think that helps me keep these fight cards together and kind of, just knowing what they went through, and that forces me to, like, not dread doing the things that we do to keep the fight card together. Just like, I got to make it happen. That's it.
Yeah. And you always do. Any news on Cage Titans 69? Are we still, obviously the focus is on the event tomorrow night, but I know people are probably wondering what the plans are going to look like for next year.
Yes, man. January 25th. We have all our dates for next year. We got 6 events next year, starting off the air. Cage Titans 69, January 25th. Tune in to Spectation Sports, because at intermission, we have a fairly large announcement that we're going to be making regarding a fight. And then we have maybe another one in the works. And I think this is going to go back to what I talked about earlier, like, how do we keep the ball rolling and how do you keep topping it? Like, we're going to announce a fight at intermission, and you're going to be like, holy shit, that must be the headliner. And it's going to be like, oh, wait, there's more. So we got one huge announcement that we're going to be doing at intermission, and we might pull the surprise out and announce something a little bit later on tonight. I can tell you this, there'll be 3 title fights that will be kicking off the new year with Cage Titans 69.
Look at that. Christmas coming early. Mike, I love it. Anything else you wanted to mention about tomorrow night's card? Otherwise, I think we'll move on here.
Yeah, I got Jacobo Pito in the works, and I think Chris Motino just walked in. We are going to be going live for the ceremonial weigh-in, so I'm going to keep it quick for those guys because I want to make sure they get some airtime. Cage Titans 68 is sold out, so if you don't have tickets for this upcoming tomorrow night, unfortunately, you're shit out of luck. But don't worry, Spectation Sports got you covered. Make sure you go on Spectation Sports. You can stream the fights live. Use your favorite fighter's last name at checkout, because Johnny Cupcakes just kicked the camera on me. We're good right there.
Because he's Chuck Norris.
He is Chuck Norris. But use your favorite fighter's last name at checkout because the great people at Spectation a portion of the sales go back to the fighters as a way for them to make money. So there you go, guys. And if you still don't have tickets, but you want to be downtown Plymouth is a place to be. Main Street Sports will be doing a watch party. Proof 22 and Tavern on the Wharf will all be doing watch parties. So if you want to be part of the vibe in the city that night, you can still come down and go to a watch party. But that's it. I got nothing else for you. Jacobo Opito, I'm going to twist his arm and get him over here to talk to you for a minute or two. And let's go. All right. Thank you so much, James.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, big ups to Mike, especially for getting me this gig too. I love doing regional MMA. I've known Mike forever. Mike will remember this. I met him at UFC Boston a number of years ago, the Dominic Reyes and Chris Weidman card, and we've known each other for a while. So happy to get to link up with Cage Titans, one of my favorite promotions. I've been interviewing fighters from this promotion for a while. So it's been great, and looks like we're going to be joined by our next guest. Mike mentioned him there. He's got the headset on. I think we're good. I'm going to bring him on now, anyways. What's up, man? How are you?
How you doing? I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well too. I like the proper English. A lot of people say I'm doing good. That's not proper, but you're off to a good start here, man. How did everything go leading into the fight? Obviously, really exciting matchup here that we're looking forward to tomorrow night.
How did it go? Like training wise?
Yeah, just camp and everything. Yeah, I know. Like obviously, yeah. I mean, how did things sort of play out leading into the fight?
I mean, I had a fun time. I wouldn't say it was easy. I definitely, I don't know. It kind of sucked, but it was fun. I don't know.
Okay. Why did it suck without revealing too much?
Just, bumps and bruises. We have to go to the gym and, like, get hit by other people. Like, that's not the most enjoyable experience. There's, like, definitely tons of things I'd rather be doing.
For sure. But it leads up to getting to fight tomorrow, right? That's the fun part.
I wouldn't even call that the fun part. The fun part's like hanging out with people after. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah. No, fair enough. That's good.
Fighting kind of sucks. It's like easy from like watching. It seems cool, but when you actually do it, you're like, well, fuck, this sucks.
Okay. I like the honesty, though. You don't hear fighters talk like that too much. Let's talk about John Medina. How much did you know about him before taking this fight, and how do you feel like you match up against him here?
I honestly don't know shit about him. Okay. I was supposed to fight someone else.
Yeah, that's right. I know it's short notice. Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to fight some other dude who is a boxer, dominant wrestler type. I was gonna stand southpaw because the guy threw a lot of hooks when you stand southpaw, and then he shoots. And then they're like, "Oh, he dislocated his knee, so now you got this other dude." And this other guy, I think I stand up how I match up probably well, like on paper, like very well, I guess. But I don't know. You never know. Sometimes guys with bad records do crazy shit, and they catch people with good records. So he's probably going to do some crazy nonsense, and then I'll probably find a way to tame him, and then I'm going to give him some karate shit and call it a wrap.
There you go. Karate shit always works. How was the mental pivot to a new opponent? One of our users is asking.
Mental pivot. I don't know. It's a little nerve-wracking. Sometimes you're like, because in your mind, you're like, boxer. And then, like, you got a completely different guy. You're like, okay. Now I can do more crazy things. That's kind of cool. I can spin now. That's cool. I don't have to worry about the wrestling as much. All right. So, I mean, I don't know. It makes it, like, kind of nice, but kind of not. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really fucking matter. We're like, this isn't even really professional level. Like, no one at the pro level, like, locally is actually any good. So, it doesn't really fucking matter who I'm fighting. It's the same shit. So, whatever.
I'm loving this uncensored stuff, man. This is great. What's your prediction? How do you see it going down tomorrow night?
I'm probably going to kick him. I'm probably going to punch him in the face. Then I'm probably going to kick him in the calf. And then I'll probably, left kick to the body. And then I imagine he's going to be real mad. And I'm going to, spin kick him. And then he's going to be really mad. And then he might try to take me down. And I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, so that's a bad idea. So then I'm probably going to, stuff the takedown, do some exotic submission. That's my prediction, exotic submission.
There you go. I love it. Thanks so much for making time, man. We're looking forward to the card tomorrow night. Best of luck.
Thank you. I love you. Peace.
Yeah, take care. Look at that. First time getting an I love you on this on the stream. Yeah, that never hurts. So good times. So yeah, we're just waiting for our next guest. I believe it will be Chris Montino. Just waiting around again. This is the Cage Titan 68 Q&A. Just got to just going to be waiting for our next guest. So thanks for everyone who's watching and tuning in. If you have any questions, like I said, leave them in the chat. We'll get to them with our next guest. Just 1 second here, guys. Just fixing something. We'll wait for our next guest here. Well, thank you. We got someone in the chat here who says they love me. That's great. Never hurts to tell someone you love them. That's awesome. What else do we got? Oh, Joshua Marsh. Happy to talk to him. One of my favorites. Oh yeah, we got. We're getting the headset on. Look at that. Always with a smile on his face. One of my favorite guys to talk to. Joshua Marsh. What's up, man? Long time no talk. How you doing?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Doing great. I love the smile. How did everything go with the rest of camp? Seems like everything went really well.
Yeah, everything went great. Camp went smooth. Weight cut went smooth. So we're ready to go.
Have you seen Yorgan yet? If so, what's that like?
I think we walked past each other. It's all good.
You guys are nice guys. I got to be honest. Like for a heavyweight title fight, like it's going to be violent in the cage, but you guys are both like super nice guys. Big smile on your face, all that stuff. So,
I mean, no reason to be.
Don't get like I guess what I should tell people here is like don't think what you're seeing here means we're going to see a friendly fight. It's going to be a very fun fight coming up tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, so. It's going to be fun. It's going to be very violent. It's going to be very exciting for everyone. So make sure you tune in, everybody.
So how was since we last talked, how was everything else? Camp and travel and all that? How did everything go sort of leading into this?
Yeah, no, everything went smooth. The camp was smooth. Like I said, the weight cut was smooth. The fight was good. We got here last night. Went to a Bruins game. So
you went to they won last night. I watched that game on TV. I'm a huge hockey fan. So that overtime goal, that was amazing, right? So
yeah, it was a good game. It was an awesome game. So that was a good experience too. So
have you ever been to a hockey game before?
Yeah.
Are you a hockey fan? Did I not know this?
I'm a fair weather fan. I mean, I like to watch. I want to call myself a big fan, but
did you have a team or you just watch every now and then?
Sorry, I'm a Rangers fan.
Oh, cool. Okay. They got absolutely destroyed last night. I don't know what happened there. So, did you see the Rangers got shellacked last night by Buffalo of all teams? So.
Oh yeah, we go through our phases.
There we go. You got some people in the background here, which I love here. Not going to take out too much more of your time, man. But seeing that game last night, that must have pumped you up because the crowd was going nuts with that OT winner, right?
Oh yeah, it was awesome, man. So like energy was high, the vibes were great. So carry that into tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Prediction for tomorrow night. How do you see it going down?
See me winning with a finish.
There we go. Yeah, I don't think we'll see the judges here. And then after this, not looking past Saturday, but just keeping active, kind of, again, this is you go out there and get the win tomorrow night. That's going to be one of the best wins on your resume, taking out a UFC veteran like this.
Yeah, so hopefully with this win, we can go to the next level. That's the plan.
What's it like being there? You're the main event. This is a big card for regional MMA. Like, we're in a bar right now talking. Like, I'm not, but you are. Like, this must be something different for you for sure.
I mean, it is, a little bit, but I mean, I have such a reserved personality, so I'm kind of just chilling. Everyone else is more excited than I am, it seems like.
Do you flip a switch when you're in there? Like I said, I'm seeing a big, nice guy. Like same thing with Yorgan. Is it one of those things when you get in there, it's like a mode switches? Because obviously you're very violent in the cage.
Yeah, definitely. Like you got to switch. Like everything is all good now, and then once we get in the cage, it's a war.
Awesome, Joshua. Thanks so much for the time. We're going to be watching. This is the main event tomorrow night, guys. You don't want to miss it. If you can't see the card live, go check it out on Spectation Sports. Joshua, thanks so much for the time, man, and looking forward to the fight tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
There we go. Joshua Marsh, one of my favorites, in the main event tomorrow night against Yorgan De Castro. Heavyweight title fight. Can't wait for this one. And hockey fan, too. I didn't even know this. I just think of all the hockey questions. For those who don't know, I'm a big hockey fan. Played hockey growing up. Love hockey. Love the fighting in hockey. Love the goal scoring in hockey. There's a lot to like about hockey. There's a lot of similarities between hockey and MMA, actually. Like fighting and, roughness and all that stuff. And it's great. Actually, a lot of hockey players got into MMA. Not a lot, but there's a few. Charles Rosa being one of them. You guys know Charles. So I believe we got someone else coming up here. We're just going to wait here and keep the ball rolling a little bit. And or we might be done. I don't know. We're going to find out here. But we've covered a lot of fighters here today. This has been great. I love doing this, guys. If you've ever watched my career, I still interview regional fighters all the time. They're great interviews. Sometimes they're better interviews, to be honest, than some of the UFC fighters I talk to. So certainly a lot of appreciation for the regional scene and what's happening here. And again, we're watching people, progress their careers every day on these types of cards. So it's really, really fun to watch and awesome to see here. So again, Cage Titan 68, Spectation Sports is your home to watch it. And if not, Plymouth Memorial Hall. And like Mike mentioned there, if you're in the area and you can't get tickets because obviously it's sold out, there's some great spots to watch it downtown. what a fun event. I mean, just to watch people, and then we also mentioned too, the next event going to be taking place in January. So the ball is always rolling with Cage Titans. Lots of good stuff going on here. So just waiting to see what's going on next, but keep your questions coming. You guys can ask me questions too. I'm cool with whatever. Doesn't matter to me. So I think we might be getting Chris Montino, but we'll see. Just waiting to see who we're going to get. I'm seeing a name being typed in the chat here. I love this. I can do this on real time. What's the first Cage Titans event you watched? I'm trying to remember. By the way, Andrew Mack, thank you for joining us again. You were here last time. Great chatter. Let me look on Tapology right now and see what we've got. Oh, I can close it out. Okay, well, anyways, you know what? Hit me up on Instagram. I'll tell you there because I know we follow each other now, which is great. This was awesome. Honest to God, first off, I just want to thank Cage Titans and Spectation Sports for doing this. I love doing this Q&A stuff. I love talking to the fighters. If you're not familiar with my work, my name is James Lynch, and I do interviews every week. That's what I get paid to do. That's my full-time job. So doing this stuff is a lot of fun for me. But big thanks to all of you for watching this. I'll say it one more time. Check out the card tomorrow night in Spectation Sports. Sign up. It's actually a package deal because if you sign up for Spectation Sports, you get access to a number of high-level regional promotions. You're seeing the future of MMA right before our eyes. And if you're in the area, either go downtown, check it out. The event's sold out, but that's pretty much what we got going on right now. So for myself, for Spectation Sports, for Cage Titans, thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, my name's James Lynch. You can check me out on all social media platforms at Lynch on Sports. Hope you guys enjoy the fights tomorrow night, and I'll talk to you guys.
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Let's go!